Morning, afternoon or evening, YouTube friends, wherever you are in the world, welcome. Now, today's project was a bit of a non-starter and actually still is to a certain degree. I started wanting to play with my alcohol inks today, but then realised I'd pretty much run out. So the first thing I did was I got some card, and sometimes we get this card that's shiny, you know, off the back of stamps, or this is actually from Hobbycraft and Alphabet Typography clear stamp set. And you know that it's really glossy. Don't throw that away, guys. You can use it. Look, alcohol inks, and I'm going to show you how we do it. This was another one that, and this is good quality card, so you can make some nice cards out of them, use them on top of as toppers or something, because it's really thick. So here we go. Then also at the time of having that thought, I thought, I know, I've said in another one of my videos that I wanted to use all of this bubble wrap that came with my stackable drawers. See? Nice big fat bubbles, and I've got so much of it I could actually probably build, I said a house, but a greenhouse with it, which is not a bad thing in terms of how my packaging got done by the company that I bought them off. However, I'm now left with tons of it, and as I'm not a landfill girl, this now has got to be utilised. So I did think earlier, before I got to this part today, I'm going to make some book covers out of it, or actually integrate it in between book covers, so that at least it doesn't go to landfill, it gets used up. But because today, you can't see this, let me see if I can get this black background against it, or a white background. Because I'm using it with my alcohol inks, the alcohol inks are actually, as you would imagine, staining the plastic. So it's giving it good coverage, and actually obviously doesn't come off. Now, what I had to do to start this off was a lovely process. It was a very, very childlike process of jumping on the whole plastic to release all the air, which was great and very noisy and very childlike, but I enjoyed every part of it. So now this piece here is super flat, and I'm using it as my table catcher for the alcohol inks. This one is just to make sure I don't spray all over my Mac. That one's still got its bubbles in. So then I got to thinking, well, where are my alcohol inks? Because I had them homemade, I haven't bought any. So then I had to make some more alcohol inks up because I'd run out. Now, in comes the ones I haven't used. So this is what I found. I knew I'd bought these for a reason. 10-pack permanent colour markers. £1 from The Works. In fact, it's there in the corner. Okay, so £1, that's all I've spent, and it was months ago because I remembered I needed some at that point. And these are the only 4 colours I haven't used yet. This one I will, but I found another way of using them, so I'm going to come back to that in a second. So all I did was get my super duper little spray bottles, which I got off AliExpress. And I took apart the pen. You have to be really careful when doing this, so just make sure you've got gloves on, because it does go all over your hands. You take the top off if you can get the top off, because these are really sticky. You pull the nib out, and as you can see, the contents are in my bottle. I haven't bothered, I don't know whether you can see that actually, I haven't bothered taking the contents out of the bottle, I just leave them in there. You can see it in that one because there's not as much alcohol ink in that one. Well, where are we? Where have you gone? There, see? I put the nib, I don't even take it out of the plastic. I just plonk everything in the bottle and add isopropyl. So you take the nib out, you pull these 2 things apart, you probably do need a pair of pliers, then you cut the inside up into 3, put them into a bottle. I think these are definitely not 30ml, they're maybe 10ml bottles with a spray on the top, and then isopropyl alcohol. Now I got this on Amazon, £5 for a litre, £5.49 a litre, something like that. And then you fill it up with your alcohol, put your label on, and off you go. Obviously use in a well ventilated room, and a mask if you want to wear a mask, that's fine. But me being me, I don't bother with all of that. So, alcoholics to the rescue. Let's move all of this side bit away. So then I started, as I said, and this is, we're using the packaging that's come from the actual markers because we can. So this again was just blue and green, and again I was gonna do tags again today, some form of tags or cards. So I'm going to show you how to get these effects, and there's two ways actually. You can just spray your alcohol ink on. Where was I going with this one? Let's go and add some more blue to this one. You can just spray your alcohol ink on and let it dry, okay? Just like that. Or, as it starts to dry, grab your heat tool. If you want marks on it, and not too close because it's alcohol, remember? Just pull that. And then you can dry it off really quickly. Okay? That's that part. Now I'm going to add some more green and show you what else I'm going to do here, because this is how I see, and all my tops are leaking a little bit, so make sure you've got so I want some more green on there, quite a lot actually. And as I get the green, as it just starts to dry, if you want to, I don't know if you can see that, as I'm doing it, you'll make puddles. Oh, they're too high. You can make puddles and lines because you'll get quite close but not too long. And it dries super quick. And when I say puddles, it's these lines around the outside that I'm referring to. And the way you do that is spray it and then heat it with your tool quite close and quite quickly. So now I want some more blue on that because I've gone too green. So watch again, and that's very wet. So watch. If I go real close, it puddles. But if I go far away, then it dries just almost as it is. And again, my catch underneath, my plastic underneath is catching the remainder. Now, part B, I want some yellow, but I've only got it in here because I haven't run out of these, I've run out of alcohol, so isopropyl alcohol. So over here, I'm just going to colour the mat, the plastic. Put quite a bit on. Hoping you can pick this up. So quite a lot of yellow. Then I'm going to get some neat alcohol, and I'm going to spray where I've just put the yellow. Just a couple. And then I'm going to plonk this on top of that. And this is what will happen. You pick it up, see? I'm hoping you can see that, it's as effective as I can see it this side. So again, you get that mottled effect, and again, that could dry, it's drying already, but you could again go in there, dry it off, capture the colour while it's wet. And use it what's on your mat, basically. I'm hoping that's catching. Don't worry about this, I'm going to cut this out. So it's picking up, so you can do it that way. So you still need a little bit of alcohol ink, but you can actually scribble straight onto plastic, which is just as easy really. And you'll get a mottled effect then, because you're doing the whole dabbing it down onto. Get you into shot to do this because it's quite difficult to show you and get the effect. See, there it is on there. Oh, quick get it. See, if I left it, it would just dry. But I can come in and actually make more patterns if I want to. That's exactly what you want to do with this. And of course, as you put pressure on it, you're creating texture image. It's super dry now. And it dries super quick, so that textured image, that sort of textured image is created because I've gone up and down on this wet quite a few times, and you get the textured image that that has been created there, which I think is super cool. And I don't actually want to do anything else to that. So that's how. So you can actually go straight onto your paper. I might lighten the middle bit up a little bit. And I've got some lime green here. And this actually works easier if you've got a little bit of card, which I'm actually going to show you, but I just want to finish this one. Sorry about the noise in the background. That is my washing machine's probably about to take off. If it does, I'll switch you off in order for it to do that. Okay? I am going to switch you off because I don't want the washing machine to interrupt, and it probably is. Part 3 of the washing machine process taking over. Okay. I think she's finished for a little while now, especially on spinning. So this mottled effect you do by putting your substrate onto the ink that you've got on your, and you dot it around, and that will give you that marbled effect as we've done on that. So super thick card, but you can also, you don't have to use shiny card, but it does come out very shiny, so why wouldn't you? But you can just use, if I can just find a card. Okay, just a piece of A6, what's this? 50 sheets I've got here. Oh, there's one I made earlier. A6 Hobbycraft card, 50 sheets, 210 GSM, and they're just perfect size just for doing. And actually, this isn't it because this is the Cars Selection biscuit box. So you can see that it still works, it just dries slightly differently and not so shiny. So let's show you on this one. So I think we'll have a bit of pink. Is it pink? Yeah. Get my heat tool ready. And so the deeper you want the colour, the more you put on the layers you put. So if you want it marked, go deep in, and so it captures the edge, dries the edge real quick. Or if you don't want that, ow, electrocute myself. I'll have a bit of, actually we'll go with a bit of purple. That's not strong purple actually, because I've only just made that this morning. So again, if you want lines, get quite in there quite quickly. Just be careful, don't hold it in one place because remember it's alcohol, so you probably will set fire to it. And the fumes do come off it when you dry it. But you're getting the lines, okay? Yeah, that purple's not purpley because I only did it this morning. So let's have a little bit. Got into my blue today. Actually, this is a different blue. That's a stronger. Anyway, I think I'll use a lighter blue. I don't know whether it is lighter, but I'll do that. Dry. So it's layering with alcohol. It's definitely layering, and with this card actually, it's gone through. Let's see if we can pick some of this up. All these lovely rainbow colours. It goes through this card, so you're going to get a double-sided card, which is pretty cool. Go back with my pink, I think. Pink, I think, because that's quite strong. Whew. And I'm sure you could put stencils on here and it would work just as fine. In terms of stamping on it, I've no idea because I've never tried it. I think you'd have to use an archival ink, a strong ink, pigment ink, because yeah, it wouldn't take otherwise. So again, just mopping up, just mopping up the excess, just to give it some, you know, just giving it some. And I do want to try and get this purple out. It's not coming out purpley though. And again, you can just, if you can get it, well, let's just spray though. So again, let's just do a spray the whole card, lots and lots. Puddle it, move it. So if you get this close, you will create those borders and drips that I'm on about. But you have to be careful that you don't set fire. You do have to get quite close just to immediately dry it, so it hasn't got time to go anywhere. I mean, look at that on the other side. Isn't that amazing? So again, you're getting double the, if you use these cards, you're getting double the price of your money, because that's just one side of the card, and I wasn't even attempting to make that one. Whereas this, Scooby-Doo, lovely. And my actual book cover, as you can start to see, is coming together. I don't know whether you can see it, but of course it's staining the plastic, which is exactly what I wanted. I'll try and go back in with a bit of blue in here. And again, you could, let's just spray it on here. Let's just experiment. So putting the blue on there, getting the top and dabbing that on. Oh, look at that. See? How amazing is that? So you can actually put your patterns on from there. That's effortless, right? I like that, wherever that came from in my head. It came from somewhere. Oh, got to run away. Of course, because I've done some in wild ones years ago. Well, I say years ago, yeah, it was years ago actually. So there you go, there's part of, just with the top of the alcohol. And again, if you can do that, then you can do, let me just get rid of that a minute, I really don't want that all over everywhere. If you've got some neat alcohol, this is where you can spray that onto your mat. Get one of the empty cases, and what's going to happen here is that it's going to probably take the paint off. Yeah, perfect. I'll show you in a minute. Because it will lift the paint that's already on there and spread itself. But again, here we go with the, why don't I just try this bit? I don't know where the alcohol is in. I think I've used it. So that's where we've done some just pure alcohol onto a pen top. It's an amazing background, isn't it? Just all of that from alcohol. I'm really enjoying this today. I hope you can join me with this project. So again, you could do it in colour or you could do it in clear, and if you did it in clear, then it lifts away the alcohol ink that's already on there. But I like that effect a lot, actually. And I've got some bags somewhere of lots of different things you could use to get rid of the, I'm going to use the bottom of the actual, as you can see. Why not? Now we've got it out, why not? Let's twist it, see what happens. Obviously we're going to get rid of some of the ink. There we go. See, you don't need a lot. I don't need a lot to be happy. Just move that away. Tidy up my table with that little bit of ink. So obviously just be careful that you don't get so carried away and high on the fumes. All of that from, and there's the other side. So again, you could get busier than that if you really wanted to, but that's just, and that would fold into the most, just, which way do I want to go? If I was to fold that in half, you could use that as a background paper, or you could actually make a beautiful little card. There you go, and put a sentiment on it. So there you go. Alcohol inks at its easiest. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I thought I'd just come on and quickly show you to give you some ideas and maybe some inspiration as to how you could work with your alcohol inks. Speak to you again soon. You could make tags actually before I go. You could make that into a tag and use it as a background. So don't get thrown any cardboard away, even if you think it's shiny. Don't give up on shiny magazines and stuff. Use them all with your alcohol inks. Thanks friends for joining me. Have an amazing day. Speak to you later. Bye.